Hi, I'm Cindy, and this is the Community Effect Podcast. On this show, we talk about all things teaching and learning, from building authentic relationships to creating a classroom culture where students thrive. We dig into mindset, motivation, engagement, and behavior, because real classroom success isn't just about lesson plans. It's about the community you build. These are conversations for teachers who want more than to just survive. And these are strategies for educators who are ready to take their community to the next level. This is the Community Effect Podcast. Hey, teacher friend. Before we dive into today's episode, I've got something really special to share because I don't want you to miss this. This summer, I'm hosting something that could change how you experience the entire school year. It's called the Start Strong Challenge, a 3-day live professional development experience that gives you the tools, structure, and clarity to build a classroom community that practically runs itself. This isn't your average sit and get PD. It's personal, it's practical, and it's rooted in what actually works, not theory, but real classrooms with real kids and real teachers like you. You'll walk away with a clear plan for your classroom setup, a routine teaching system that sticks, a 2-week launch map that helps you start strong and stay strong, and the confidence to lead with presence, purpose, and peace. And I'm so excited to do this along with you. It's everything I had to figure out on my own the hard way, packaged up with a bow and ready to hand over to you. So head on over to crobbinsoncoaching.com and claim your seat today because spots are limited and the doors are going to be closing soon. Hey friend, welcome back to the Community Effect Podcast. Today's episode is here to give you a bit of a pep talk and a solid plan for the final stretch of the school year. And if you've spent the year intentionally building community, you've likely created a classroom culture that's grounded in consistency and care. And that's something worth protecting, especially now. You've made it through the bulk of the year. Your routines are running smoothly and summer is in sight. And I know how tempting it can be to ease up. And I know that these last few weeks feel really long. But the truth is, this is the season where energy dips. And when you're tired, you're even more tempted to loosen up. So the real question many of you are pondering is, can I coast these last few weeks? Or do I need to stay consistent and continue to hold my students accountable? The answer, you could coast, but it's going to feel like swimming upstream with a backpack full of bricks. And to be honest, from experience, coasting is only a temporary solution. It feels good for a few days, but after that, when you start noticing that your fine-tuned machine is out of tune, your structures are going to weaken, behaviors are likely going to spike, and you're left with all this unneeded stress and chaos. So instead, I want to show you how to keep a few key systems in place that can actually lighten your load and help your students stay grounded. The good news, you don't need to do more. You just need to keep doing what works. Today, I'm going to be sharing 5 things that will help you finish strong, protect your peace, and keep your classroom community thriving all the way to the very last day. Are you ready? Okay, let's get into it. Number 1, keep your routines tight. Your routines are your anchor. You know, the ones that you've been focused on all year long. Field trips, schedule changes, and classroom interruptions might be unavoidable, but routines help you bounce back. So this is definitely not the time to loosen up on the routines that you've worked so hard to establish. In fact, they're your safety net right now. They create calm, they provide clarity, and they offer predictability during a time when everything else can feel a little bit wobbly. Think about it. These last few weeks, there are a ton of events that alter your schedule. And to be honest, they change the flow of your day and they eat into your instructional time. There is so much unpredictability. In fact, I'm sure you're having to adjust your schedule as we speak. But if your students know how your classroom runs and that expectations remain the same regardless of the time of year, they have something steady to return to. So revisit those expectations, practice your transitions, and narrate what's going well. Don't be afraid to reset something that's gotten a little bit messy. Routines aren't just a structure. Like I said, they're your stability. So you can try this. Have a quick class meeting and ask, what's something that we've done really well this year that we want to keep strong through the end of the year? And is there a routine that we need to revisit or tighten up? This invites students' voice while reinforcing accountability. Number 2, keep building relationships. You've likely spent the year building strong relationships with your students, but the work doesn't stop here. In fact, some students need more connection right now. Why? Because ending can feel hard. Even if they don't show it, many kids are dealing with big emotions about leaving your classroom, transitioning to a new grade, or facing changes at home. Some kids are facing months without structure, without meals, or without friends. So think about it. Some behaviors you're seeing might not be about mischief at all. They may be about the anxiety that they're feeling as the year comes to a close. And for many of them, school is that safe place. And the thought of summer, it's really overwhelming, even if they don't say it. And that's why we need to stay curious, keep reaching out, keep showing up. Your continued investment in relationships helps them feel safe, seen, and supported. So you can try this. Make time for one-on-one check-ins or host a lunch bunch and say things like, I've really noticed how much you've grown this past year. I'm so proud of how comfortable you become in taking risks and sharing your thinking. Or you could say, I'm really going to miss you next year. That acknowledgement, it goes a long way. You could write quick notes or you can share affirmations. Like, you've become quite the leader this year, and I can't wait to see how you're going to put those skills into action next year. Or thanks for putting a smile on my face. Your kindness makes my days brighter. Acknowledge their emotions without judgment. Help ease their anxiety and reinforce their trust. Number 3, keep planning with purpose. I know it sounds crazy, but it's easy to fall into the trap of filler activities once testing is over and the school year starts to come, starts to wind down. But when instruction loses purpose, engagement drops and behaviors follow. In fact, consistency in learning is just as important as consistency in routines. Students still need to see that their time in your classroom matters. And believe it or not, our students still crave meaning. Purposeful, engaging learning experiences will do more to keep behavior in check than any incentive chart ever could. And it doesn't mean that you need to pull off a massive end-of-the-year project, but it does mean that what you plan should be intentional. So try this. Think transfer, not just review. Let students create and let them reflect by showing what they've learned in a new context. It could look like short units or theme days tied to a skill that you've taught, or a student-led review of the lesson you guys have gone over this year. Maybe it's a passion project. Even simple things like a debate day or a STEM challenge or a class podcast can reignite curiosity and keep students invested in learning. Number 4, keep holding high expectations. It's easy to think we need to ease up to be that fun teacher, especially as the year winds down. And I know this is where a lot of teachers feel torn because you don't want to be the mean teacher, the one who's still enforcing those expectations in May. But the truth is, students feel safest when boundaries stay consistent. And this doesn't mean being harsh. It means being clear. Consistent expectations create emotional safety and behavioral stability. The reality is, when we lower our expectations and stop monitoring what matters, our students will fill the void with what matters to them. And that's usually an off-task behavior in the form of a social conversation that happens at all the wrong times. Your tone can still be warm. Your words can still be kind, but your expectations, they should remain constant. Students will rise to your level of expectation. Circle time is a great place to revisit norms, to talk about why your expectations are still in place and why your students should still keep holding high expectations for themselves. So try this. When you see off-task behavior, instead of just jumping straight into redirection, pause and ask the students, what's our agreement here? What is your job right now? That subtle shift invites reflection and reinforces ownership instead of resorting to a power struggle. And don't forget, like I said, when you expect more, your students are going to rise to meet it. Number 5, keep celebrating the good. This is the best part, right? When you get to celebrate with your kids. You guys have come so far this year. So take a lot of time and notice it. Celebrate the growth, the effort, the wins. Reflect on where you started and how far your class has come academically, socially, and emotionally. Let students see their progress. Have students review the personal and academic goals that they set for themselves throughout the year. Revisit the beginning of the year work and compare it to where they are right now. This truly helps students see how far they have come. You can introduce a shout-out board where students write notes of appreciation to their classmates. You can create a class highlight reel, let students write thank you notes to each other, or have a classroom awards day where everyone gets celebrated for their unique contributions. One favorite of mine was a traveling team award. Each week, my class would nominate a team that best embodied our community values: kindness, accountability, and teamwork. It encouraged students to notice each other and reinforce those positive expectations through recognition. These small celebrations fuel joy and motivation and reinforce the community that you have worked so hard to build this year. And it will help you close this year with pride. I know this stretch can feel long, and let's be honest, it is long. But you don't have to white knuckle your way through it. You've done incredible work this year. You've built something lasting. Community, trust, consistency, and growth, and that deserves to be honored. So here's the question. Will you coast or will you finish with purpose? Your classroom might look different than someone else's, and that's okay. Hold true to you because in your space, you've built something beautiful. So protect it, sustain it, and end it with intention. I remember my kids used to always say, well, this other class, they are getting to, do X, Y, Z. And my response was always, that's great. But in our classroom, learning doesn't stop because summer is near. You guys have come way too far to just stop right now. So we're going to finish the year strong, which means that we're going to continue learning to the very last day. And that's something you guys should be really proud of. And it worked. I mean, they bought into it, which was fantastic. So remember, this isn't about doing more. It's about holding on to what works. Because the truth is, the end of the year doesn't have to be chaotic. It can be a time for a lot of joy and laughter and fun. It can even be your favorite season if you stay grounded in what matters most. So keep those routines, keep the relationships, keep the learning, keep the expectations, and keep those celebrations. You've already laid that foundation, and now finish with intention. You've got this, my friend. If this episode gave you a little clarity or a burst of energy, I'd love for you to share it with a colleague or tag me on social. You're doing important work, and I see you. And be sure to follow and download the Community Effect podcast so that you don't miss the next episode. We've got more support and soul fuel coming your way. This summer, I'm hosting something that could change how you experience the entire school year. It's called the Start Strong Challenge, a 3-day live professional development experience that gives you the tools, structure, and clarity to build a classroom community that practically runs itself. This isn't your average sit and get PD. It's personal, it's practical, and it's rooted in what actually works, not theory, but real classrooms with real kids and real teachers like you. You'll walk away with a clear plan for your classroom setup, a routine teaching system that sticks, a 2-week launch map that helps you start strong and stay strong, and the confidence to lead with presence, purpose, and peace. and I'm so excited to do this along with you. It's everything I had to figure out on my own the hard way, packaged up with a bow and ready to hand over to you. So head on over to crobbinsoncoaching.com and claim your seat today, because spots are limited and the doors are going to be closing soon. And if no one's told you lately, what you do matters, and you matter. I'll see you next time on the Community Effect Podcast. Have a great day.